Okay, let's take a look at step 13. We're in the chapter 7 mid-level, getting closer to being done. Step 13 tells us in C3, use a nested function. We're going to use an index function, and within that index function, we are going to nest a match function. Okay, in the index function, we want the results to display the title from the art column. Okay, great. In the match function, we want to display, for the first one, we want to display, we want to use the match function to find for us the highest estimated valued filtered artwork, which is a lot, but it'll make sense. Let's go take a look at it. Okay, so I'm over here in my spreadsheet. I've already got, you have to have step 11 done. You have to have the dmax function there because the step 13 depends on it. All right, so let's get started with our index function. So I'm just going to type in index, have that ready to go. The first thing that the function needs to know, or the first argument it needs to have, is it needs to know, well, where's the array? Or you could think of it, where's the group of cells? Or where are the records that you want me to look at? And so our array is just the database. It's the one we actually named database. So I'm going to start typing database and accept it. Then I'm going to add a comma because I'm ready for the next argument to my function. And the next argument to my function asks for the row number. What row number do you want me to index here? This is where we're going to use the match. So what we're going to say is don't find a row, but instead use the match function. Use the match function to find this record for me. The lookup, and so now here we are in the match function, and the first argument that the match function needs is the lookup value. Excel is asking like, hey, what value do you want me to look up? We want it to look up the highest estimated value. Haha, here it is, C2. Now, later on, we are going to copy the same function down. We're going to copy it down one cell. So C2 needs to be an absolute reference. Well, because we're copying it down, it actually only needs to be a mixed reference, which we talked about in steps previous to this. So we're just going to make the row 2 number, the mixed reference. Okay, add a comma. You're ready for your next argument. In the match function, the next argument is the lookup array. And really, again, that just means what array or group of cells or records do you want me to match this against? And we want it to match it against, you might think the whole database, but really not the whole database. You just want it to match against the estimated value column. So I'm going to select the estimated value column, that whole kit and caboodle. What is that? I-14 all the way through I-170 something or another. There it is, 178. And then again, don't forget we're going to copy this whole thing to another cell. So I'm going to select that whole thing and make it an absolute reference. I'm pressing F4 on my keyboard. You can just type in the dollar signs if you want. Make that an absolute reference. Type in another comma and add your last argument. The last argument to the match function says what kind of match type do you want? And it tells you the types that you have available to you. We want an exact match, so we're going to type in the number 0. Not the letter O, but the number 0. It has to be an exact match, because think about what we're doing. We're telling Excel, hey, look at C2, match it against that whole column, find an exact match. Now that's the last argument, so type in your right-hand parentheses to say that the match function is done. It's done, but add another comma because the index function is not done. We have our array, we have our row number, which is our match function. Now we need to tell it the column number. And the column number means what column do you want me to look at to produce or display a result? And we want it to display, if you remember from the instructions, it says give the title of the art. So that is column 1, 2, 3. Art is the third column. So we're going to type the number 3, type in your right-hand parentheses, and press your enter key. And there's your answer. The art piece called 10 Lepers is the one with the highest estimated value. Pretty cool, hey? All right, let's keep going. Step 13 also says to do this here in C4. I'm going to take C3 and just copy it down to C4. In the instructions it says, in C4, enter blah, blah, blah to display the release date. Okay, we can do this. The release date is not column 3, so I'm going to delete the last number 3. The release date is column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to type the number 6 and press enter. Now it's a very weird number just because it's not formatted correctly. So go up to your number formats. In the instructions it tells you choose this one, the numeric and then the month. All right, click OK. And there it is, October 1st. I think that's the date, right? Using here it says left align. I have to change that. The March 12th date format. Okay, yep, that's the one. All right, left align, and you should be good to go. Let me know if you have any questions.